basically he said, Colin, can you do the fucking Pasha logo on the side of this, on this canvas bit here that we designed? He says, yeah, let me see it there. And he showed me on his phone, and it was just this 2 wee cherries on a wee green stalk. So he says, yeah, no problem. So I sat him down, boys, and I did the 2 wee cherries, lovely, but I put the wee shine, maybe a bit of shine on them and all. No joke, lads. I stood back and I went, I said, Jerry, boy, I'm just looking at this here on the, I'm not going to lie to you, boy. It looks a wee bit like a cock and balls.
I forgot what to say. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 21 of the Here's the Craic podcast. We have another guest on, Ryan Cullen, who has very kindly agreed to come on and have a chat with us. We probably won't take up most of your time, but we say that to everybody, and it goes on for a brief while. But we'll try not to take up most of your time. Thank you very much for coming on. First of all, I think we'll just jump straight in and tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, and like how you get into cutting hair and whatnot, and go on ahead, take it away.
Do you know what, lads? I've done many a podcast, and this never gets any easier. Basically, I'm 35 years old now at this stage, and I get into hairdressing when I was 19, and I went to high school. Obviously, always wanted to do hairdressing throughout high school, but never really had the balls to say it because I went to school in Katy. And if any of you went to school in Katy 20 years ago, it wouldn't have been very cool to admit you wanted to be a hairdresser, but always wanted to be a hairdresser, lads. Just never really admitted to that. And instead on did my A-levels and stuff, and I went to university, and I was studying teaching at the time. And when I was in Liverpool, lads, I went to uni in Liverpool, and when I went to uni in Liverpool, I used to go to different salons, and I just noticed that over in England there was a lot more men doing it. You know, there was a lot more men in the industry, and I just thought to myself, do you know what? It's not my issue. It's Ireland's issue. It's Northern Ireland's issue, like sort of the stigma that it had around a man wanting to be a hairdresser. So I sort of said to myself, right, I'm going to go home and I'm just going to do what I want to do because life's too short. And I got home, boys, and I just got straight into the tack and Uri, and I was doing hairdressing, and I started doing women's hair. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, but my passion lay with sort of doing men's hair. I suppose being a fella and being into sports and being into, you know, lad things, I was missing the crack with the lads, really. So we're going to have the crack in the next 45 to an hour here. So I missed having the crack with the lads, really. And I think, if I'm going to be honest, I'm a better men's hairdresser than I was a women's hairdresser. So you enjoy what you're good at, and I really enjoy doing men's hair. And I just, you know, one thing led to another in Uri. I started building up a good clientele for myself. I started using social media to really put myself on a platform, and here I am today. I'm doing it now since I was 19 to 35, approaching now 17 years this year, and it's flew in, lads, and it's brilliant. And I've just I'm proud to say I've went from strength to strength, you know. So that's how I get into it, like.
Yeah, you see now there's like you could almost say like there's loads and loads of barbers now. Like on every corner there's like a barber shop. Back when you started, like would it have been the same? Would there have been as many like barbers and all, or was it as?
I was maybe oblivious to how many barbers there was because I didn't want to be a barber. I wanted to be a stylist. I wanted to be like my interests lay in fashion and, you know, forward thinking haircuts. So when I was living here, boys, back when I was younger growing up, a barber to me was someone who was very traditional and just you went in for short back and sides.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to be that person. Like I didn't want it to be like, sure, when I used to get my haircut with my dad, it was literally you got what the barber gave you. You know, and it was probably horrendous. So I didn't want to be a barber. So there maybe was a lot of barbers back then, but I just didn't notice. But there certainly wasn't a lot of men hairdressers.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't too many lads. Now, I think what you're trying to say now as well is there's so many young lads now want to be stylists, want to be men's hairdressers. Almost like a cool thing to be now is a barber, like a barber / men's hairdresser. So I'm happy for that because I don't feel like I have to hide behind a facade anymore, you know?
Yeah. We were talking about that before. Like we were sort of saying like now there's like a lot of young lads would want to be a barber, and it's like there'd be a lot of ones like, oh, I'd love to do that. Whereas maybe when you started out, it wasn't the case.
No, it's glamorized today. Like barbering and men's hairdressing now is very glamorized. It's not. It's maybe a lot of young lads I think they want to be barbers are kind of sidetracked into thinking that it's just an easy job. It's handy. You go in and you talk about football and women and weekends and but they think it's easy. I think you get to wear your own clothes. You're always getting to look good. You're in a nice warm building. It's got a lot of cons.
Yeah.
But the cons are that it's a hard job. There's a lot of stress in it. I mean, you've got so many in your hands, like, and that you can make or break someone's day, and there's a lot of skill involved in it. So I think a lot of young lads who want to be barbers are totally sidetracked in the glamorized sort of, boys like myself and other barbers are very good at their job are making it look easy and putting up haircuts on that are quite good, and that looks like it's easy to do, but it's not. It's a lot of practice and a lot of hours, and
they've probably been doing it for ages. Like you've been doing it for a while, so like, you know what I mean? Like you're at the stage now where it's probably you probably do it with your eyes closed. Like,
I mean, I'm sick of it. I'm thinking of a new job. I think I've had it.
You'll take up podcasting.
Yeah, this goes anyway.
Why you start your own show, Ryan?
All you need, but it looks like all you need is a big set of headphones there and a microphone. It's great.
It's easy. It's handy. Well, you're obviously, Ryan, you've got quite a large following on social media. You're very well known as a barber in Northern Ireland and probably all across the UK. I know from coming into your shop that like you've Liverpool jerseys up on the wall, and you've obviously you have a lot of high profile clients. How did you like come across these clients, and like how have you fallen in with them?
I want to clear it up across any of them.
They're all looking for you.
No, I just want to clear that up. That didn't happen. Like, no. The crack is, I suppose, I use the internet for the ways it should be used. You could open up a whole topic here about social media, lads. I don't actually really like social media. I think it's horrendous. I think it's the ruination of a lot of people, and I think a lot of people are trying to be something they're not on social media. But that's another podcast. That's a whole different topic. You could talk about. But I kind of use the internet for the right reasons, and that's just to make myself, busy and to strengthen my brand. And basically, lads, how that happened, how I got in touch with the first ever person I got in touch with, lads, was a boy called Gaz out of Geordie Shore. And back when Geordie Shore was the whole, Gaz made an appearance over here one time in the bank bar in Uri. And obviously, working in Uri, I just thought this is an opportunity for me to meet this lad and cut his hair and get my work on a bigger platform. So I just tweeted him, used the internet, tweeted him. I says, look, big man, if you'd like a haircut, it'd be a pleasure. And you know what, lads, he got back to it. But he got back to it because he'd seen the haircuts I'd put online. Yeah. And he knew, obviously, it wasn't just somebody who was just looking to cling a bit of his fame. He knew he'd get a good haircut. Right. I met him, and the same thing followed, lads, just with other celebrities and obviously then the footballers. I mean, I'm a big Liverpool fan, so I follow the lads, all the players. And Adam Lallana was a player that I admired him as a player. He's quality footballer, but he also had cool hair. He also looked the part, like. And I always thought, there used to be a boy that worked with me called Connor Taff, and me and Connor always used to say, "You'd love to cut that boy Lallana's hair, wouldn't you?" And I just tweeted him one day, lads. I just sent the message underneath one of the pictures. I says, big man, if you'd ever like a haircut, it'd be a pleasure. No worries if not. I never thought, lads, to be honest, he'd see the tweet or he'd see the comment under the picture on Instagram. I never thought just thought, sure, there's hundreds of comments, But I threw it in there, and it was on a Thursday one. But I told the story about a million times, like. And I mean, I don't get tired of telling it, because it's a big privilege, But I commented under one of his pictures on a Thursday at dinner time on my lunch, and by 5 o'clock I'd even forgot I'd done it. I forgot I commented under it, and later on that night I was in my bed, and it was Lamside Carrie, and just a typical relationship. She's in her phone, and I'm in mine, and trying to drift up, and a friggin' message came through, lads, on the phone, and it was Adam Lallana, and he'd seen the comment, and he'd looked at my work, and he'd seen the standard, and I suppose he liked it, and he wrote a wee message back to me saying like that him and Jordan would love a haircut, and he thought my work was good and blah blah blah. And the funny thing was, it was Thursday night, lads, at 11:15 that night. And I was really busy. The next day, boys, I was booked out from 8 o'clock to 10:30 that night, like, you know, with clients every half hour. And he asked if he could get a haircut. So I says, look, Adam, I'm free on Sunday. I'm not doing that on a Sunday. I'm pretty busy tomorrow on Saturday. I'm free Sunday if that would be okay. And he wrote back, you know, saying, you know, they've got a game against Palace in London on Saturday, and that tomorrow, if I could do tomorrow, it'd be amazing. Like, but then he did say that if you can't do it, mate, no worries, we'll get you again. But try, you know what that means, like.
Yeah. Oh, we know too well.
You have to take your chance, don't you?
That was a wee door opening, you know, and I Carrie and saying, Carrie, like, what do I do here? I mean, I can't do tomorrow. Some of them people have been waiting 4 or 5 weeks for a haircut, you know, and this is very, very bad. This is on a business point of view, this is very bad to let someone down this late, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, I remember Carrie saying to me, she says, like, well, if you go to work tomorrow and you do your clients, will you be standing behind every client thinking where you could be? And I would, like, my head be racked. And she says, well, you have to do it. She says, like, your clients are now your friends. They're not just people, they're your friends. And they'll be buzzing for you. They'll not be annoyed. They'll actually be thinking, my barber's way to cut Liverpool footballers' hairs, like. This is all. So, was I text them? I says, you're right, Carrie. And I text them all and I said, look, lads, something massive's come up. I have to go and do this, like. I told them the situation, but I opened up Sunday. I've done them all on Sunday, you know. And yeah, the next day I was over with the boys next day, and that was 4.5 years ago now, lads. And I've been looking after the 2 lads and Danny Ings as well, and Harry Wilson and other players. There's been more. Like I've been to St George's Park twice, with the England team. Just amazing opportunities, you know. And that's 4.5 years of doing that every 2-3 weeks. Just an amazing. And even though I'm 35, it's something, you know. As a grown man, you and a football fan, you still can't, you know. It's just a privilege, you know. It's great, and as long as it lasts, I'll keep it up. But I'd see you're working well, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, like, you can tell whenever you're in your shop, you can tell the lads do think a lot of you, like the jerseys and the football boots, the gloves, and the merchandise is unreal. But that's definitely one thing I find about you, Ryan, is whenever you're in your shop, there's always a name-to-name basis on your. As soon as you're in your shop, real friendly staff, real, like, it's a personal experience coming into your barbers. Like, it's like.
I think.
Sorry.
No, you were going ahead. You were going to say something. You were complimenting me there. You were complimenting me. I was liking it there. You go.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said something. No, I was just saying how, like, it's just a really, like, good experience coming into your barbers, like, and I'd say, like, that helps you in the long with like gaining clients like that there and sustaining them as you have. Like.
Well, you have to think of it this way. You guys choose to come there, so we're really grateful. You know, you can never be arrogant you can never be too arrogant in your position. You know, because there's nothing more unattractive and unappealing than arrogance. You know, too much arrogance. Listen, we appreciate everybody that comes through our door, and as you say, Shay, the name basis is smart. We enjoy your crack and your company. You know, not so much yours, but everyone else's.
That's all right. I'm not coming back.
You probably see Shay coming as like, oh shit, here, lock the door. Here he comes.
He's not coming back, but I'm looking at his loaf there.
He's not a haircut, that's a miracle.
I'm in Darren.
But it's good, boys. It's going really well. You know, it's a job that, you know, every day is a new day and every day is a different day. And it's great. I can't wait to be back. This lockdown's doing my head in, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You've moved into your new place now as well. It's looking class. Like, I'm sure you're missing it. You know, you've only really moved in and you've already done it, like.
I opened it. I really opened it because I was pushed into a corner, you know. I suppose in the back of my mind, I always did want to have a bigger shop and, you know, more staff under my name. But the coronavirus and the whole lockdown situation made me act on it. Like, it sort of forced my hand. And my last shop was really small. Like, it was a tiny wee shop. It was only 3 staff in it. And even at that, I was maximizing, like, with 3 staff. And simply because of the just because of all the rules that the government put in place for my industry, I couldn't have opened that shop at full capacity with the boys. Social distancing wouldn't have been maintained. It would have been horrendous. So we looked for a bigger unit, and brilliant boys opened it on the 6th of July, and it's been buzzing ever since 6th of July. But I suppose that's because people were desperate for haircuts anyway. But it is deadly, but it's hard when we love working and we're so busy, and when you're really busy, to be now just at home doing nothing, it's tough,
Yeah.
So you've opened up the new shop, Ryan. One thing we were talking about was, would you ever think of opening shops in different parts of around the country or around the UK or anything?
Well, it's a funny one, because I was actually talking about this today to my brother.
Yeah.
And I actually said to him, I said, what do you think? I said, because Luke has a hand, Luke manages my shops.
He's
your
manager, isn't he?
Luke kind of knows more of my shop than I do, if you know what I mean. Finances and stuff. I just know how to make it look good and feel good. And talk around, but
you're the pretty face.
Face of the game, boy. But I think in the long run, I think as I'm getting older, Shay, I am thinking more business minded, Right, I'm just thinking more. I'm thinking more business minded in terms of longevity for myself. I don't really want to be working the hours I'm working going forward in my life. With the I'm looking to start a family as well. So I think I will open a shop. It's just where we'll open it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny one ways, and I don't want to sound like name dropping, but me and Adam were talking about this, and Adam questioned me. He says, "Why have you not opened a shop in Liverpool, mate?" He said he thinks it'd be an absolute no-brainer, to get the footballers in and to go on with that. But I don't know. I suppose it's the problem lies with me. Maybe I'm a bit of a homebird. I like home and I like staying here.
I think the thing with that logic is though, because a lot from I've never been to your shop or anything before, but I know from Thomas and Shay and stuff talking about it, a lot of it seems to be all of it seems to be based on your name. So it's to turn around and open a shop in Liverpool, with that, you say, if you're wanting to start a family and stuff, then there would probably be a part of you that'd be that wouldn't be what it is without your name being on the board. So you kind of have to be there.
The thing is when I opened my shop, lads, when I went out on my own, I wasn't planning even on going and hiring staff. It was just me looking with my own dream, getting my own name above my door, and it was really just me thinking about myself and my clients. And I worked for the first 2-3 months in my shop on my own, under my own name, and then it was only that I started educating and teaching people that people were actually saying to me, I'd love to work underneath you, I'd love to work under you, I'd love to learn off you. So then I got staffed in, and it started to grow. And with my name being the name of my business, it is a tough one, because I know that every person that works for me in my shop, I want them to feel as individual as possible. Do you know what I mean? And I really do promote individuality. I want them to be their own person, but that's kind of tough under someone else's name. Ross, Ryan Cullen, her, but it's up to me to build the brand and to make the brand not about me, about the skill level and the professionalism in the shop. So that's like a Peter Mark, or it's a Tony and Gay, it's a Ryan Cullen, her. It's not me. I think what I'll do, and I think what I'm going to try my best to do is to teach more and more people and get them working under my name, but not my name, the brand.
So as opposed to everybody thinking of Ryan Cullen hair as specifically you, it's more like Ryan Cullen hair is you're going to go there and get good service, all that there.
But Shay and Thomas will tell you, the 3 boys that work in my shop, Shane, Maddie and Stevie, they're brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
They're cutting hair and social and professional, they are great lads, and I'm very proud of them. But there's a million people who can get in like that. It's a bit just looking for them. So opening up boys is definitely a goal of mine. It's just not right now. It's a hard time to talk about it now, because the whole industry's coronavirus. First minute show.
Oh yeah, you work away.
What's behind?
Ryan, you've got a lot of people know you for this. I don't know what you would call it, but your own. It's your look with the line down the side of your head.
It's a sort of signature haircut, isn't it?
Yeah, your signature haircut. What do you call? What would you call that?
I don't know, but I just
No name for it.
color. Where do?
How what inspired you? What inspired you to do that, or where did you get your inspiration from?
That particular haircut that went viral.
Yeah.
In 2015, and I think it was one of the most viral haircuts searched on the internet that year in the world. And the funny thing is, Shay, when I done that haircut, I was doing umpteen of those haircuts at that time. That one just took off. It must have been the right time, the right, the right image or whatever at the time I took it. But I don't know, it's just something, a haircut is just, I'm giving a lot of freedom to my clients, which is brilliant. My clients tend to sit down and be like, Ryan, just work away, whatever you think, because that lad that I done that on, Bogdan he's Romanian. So he's got this kind of global look. I think when you look, you don't know whether he's Romanian, Italian, he could be from South America. He's got that global look. So I think that's why that took off so much. But that haircut was just something we just decided to do at the time. We threw in a lot of elements. We threw in a drop fade. We pointed the beard as opposed to fading it. We threw the line in just to give it a bit of aesthetics. And we put a lot of texture in the top. We threw in a lot of different components, and it really blew up. And to this day, it's still a current haircut. People are still asking for that, which is mad. Like
another haircut a lot of people ask for is the fade.
Just the fade, man.
Do you think that'll ever leave, or will it be replaced, or?
All haircuts are replaceable, but it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Sure, fades have been around from way before we were born. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had a skin fade. You know what I mean?
I think it was like Peaky Blinders or something. Like whenever Peaky Blinders came out, it just seemed to be like everybody looked like.
There's no fade in that, Ross. There's no fade there. That's a butcher job.
You wouldn't see that in your show.
That's a knife and fork job. No, it's definitely a look. It's very contemporary, but there's no skill level to that haircut. That looks like that could be a lockdown haircut.
Yeah.
But no, it's the skin fade will never go away. I mean, there's a couple of reasons why. I mean, lads, I find that most lads like to get, their money's worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens is you're getting your money's worth. It's lasting you. So you're bringing it right down to the skin. And what's happening is you don't need to go back to the barbers for 3-4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got that. And also it's nice when it's done properly. When a skin fade is done properly, it just looks really good, It does. It just.
Yeah.
No, it'll never go away. But styles always change, and it's up to us stylists to help to try and convince you guys to go for new things,
Yeah. The next big thing.
Hard to do anyway.
just on haircuts. Have you got any stories of your most embarrassing? Have you any haircuts that you've done on people that you really regret, or personal haircuts that you've got? If you want to tell us.
I did a haircut on a fella one time, and it was fucking horrendous, mate. And it wasn't my fault. I'll start off by saying it wasn't my fault. It was a fella called Jerry. I'll never forget this. This was back when I worked in scissors. Back when I was the only fella in a salon with about 12 other girls in it. And what used to happen was the girls just used to stand the boys into me because I was a boy. And the girls were never trained in doing men's hair, and they just used to sort of usher them over to me. And I was like, I was happy enough. I was just taking them all in. But Jerry came in one day, and Jerry, it was just say, for example, it was a Wednesday. Jerry was going to Ibiza with the lads on Friday. So I don't know if you remember this haircut, lads. You might do, because I think he's similar age to you boys. Now, what are you, late 20s, mid 20s?
23.
Yeah, 23.
He's all early 20s, yeah.
No.
This boys, I'm an old man here with his cat. I'm going to have to throw in a few hype words here. No, Jerry, and there used to be this haircut, lads, where you get the two sides shaved, but then you get one side shaved around the back, so you'd have this kind of diagonal diagonal mullet.
Oh, like the V? What, the V?
It was not the V, but it was like a diagonal V, so that it came down to the side here.
Oh, Jesus.
Sounds a mad enough.
And so the fringe would have come down here, this side, right? All straightened. The crown was spiky, and then this side was long, right? So this side, boys, it was fucking horrendous, right? So anyway, I would very, it's just a space boy haircut.
No.
But back then, but Jerry got this done anyway. So we got this like number 2 on this side and a number 2 here, and the rest was left long on the Wednesday. And that was dead on. We just left it like that, and he was happy enough. But he took a notion on the Friday, and he called into the shop on the Friday morning, and I was with the client, and he came into the reception, and he said, he sort of got my attention from the reception, and I looked up at him, and he was there with about 5 of the lads, and they're all in the reception with 3 trilbies on, with their suitcases in their hands. They were all going to the bus depot to get the bus to the airport. And he says over to me, Cullen, have you got 15 minutes, mate? And he says, I am finished here in a couple of minutes. I'm with you then. And he went, brilliant, I've got an idea. So I says, yeah, no problem. So I finished up that client, then I come over and I says, Jerry, what's going on? He says, I have an idea, mate. We're going to Ibiza. He says, Rand, you know that their nightclub, Pasha, the Pasha nightclub? You've ever heard of it, lads? No. Pasha. No. I don't even know if it's a thing anymore, but it used to be this big, massive nightclub chain. And they were all over England. They were all over, basically all over Europe. But the big one was in Ibiza. And the logo for it, lads, was 2 each red cherries on a green. You've never seen it?
No.
all our older listeners here will understand this story. Oh, the Jerry. Anyway, basically he says, Cullen, can you do the fucking Pasha logo on the side of this canvas bit here that we designed? He says, yeah, let me see it there. And he showed me on his phone, and it was just this 2 wee cherries on a wee green stalk. So he says, yeah, no problem. So I sat him down, boys, and I did the 2 wee cherries, lovely, but I put the wee shine, a wee bit of shine on them and all. Hanging on them, and deadly, boys. And then I put the stalk on, right? And I put this.
It looked like
no joke, lads. I stood back and I went. I says, "Oh fuck me!" Right? And I goes to myself, "How did this one like?" And I said to him, I remember thinking like the only thing I would see today here would be a bit of colour, right? Like if obviously if you done the stock green and the cherries red, you'd know what it is. So I said to Jerry, Jerry, mate, could I maybe do this? Have you time to get this coloured? I think it'd look even better. And he goes, fuck, oh no, the bus is leaving. So I said, right, no bar, right, yeah. So I faffed about it for about 2 more minutes, and then I bit the bullet. I said, I'm going to tell this man, I have to tell him. I can't have him leave here and all the boys say, what the fuck did Cullen do to the back of your head? So I said, Jerry, boy, I'm just looking at this here on the, I'm not going to lie to you, boy, it looks a wee bit like a cock and balls. And he goes, I remember he looked at me and he goes, boy, I wish it was. And I showed him in the mirror, showed him the back of the mirror, and he looked at it and he goes, oh, fuck, it does, doesn't it? He started laughing. Fair play to him, he started laughing. And I said, but sure, look, anyway, people will know over there what that is like. They're bound to know, like, you're going to Ibiza. But we went on anyway, and I goes to myself, holy fuck. And he left, and all the girls looked at me and say, what the fuck did you do there? But that was the worst haircut I've ever done, lads, by cock and balls, like. Yeah. There's the balls up.
None of his mates wanted it too, did they? No,
they were happy enough to go on, yeah. They were happy enough to get the bus.
Who have you got any like stories like of your like worst customer you've ever had? Like have you ever had like a nightmare of a customer come in or?
Yeah, you get a few Oregon people. Like I had a fellow one time who used to come in and he was horrendous. I mean, I don't like talking about clients, but he remain nameless. Like, but he used to be constantly 10 minutes, 15 minutes late, and I work off half-hour appointments. And this fella would he would stretch out the half hour. He would actually want about 40 minutes spent on them because he would like to keep the next person waiting to make it important, you know. So if you're already coming 10 minutes late and the next person's in on time, I'm already struggling. But he came in one time, lads, and he was 10 to 15 minutes late. And this was a time where I said to myself, this boy's had about 7 or 8 strikes here, you know. Normally 3 strikes you're out, like, but this boy's had 2. I was only learning the trade at the time, lads, and I hadn't really got the cojones to be that abrupt and that kind of stern, and because it was grateful of every client come in the door. But I said to myself, no, this boy's taking you as a bit of a fool. And I remember one time, and he came in and he just looked at me and he pointed at the basin to get washed and said, I'm pointing at his watch and goes, right, Colin, let's go. And he just walked past, undoing his tie and sat in the basin. And I goes, fuck me, what an asshole, like. So, yeah, I just went up and told him, like, nah, not today, boy. Do you mind next? I says, my next time is coming in 10 minutes. I says, there's no way we can do you in 10 minutes. So he was the worst because he was very arrogant, you know. He's just arrogant. No, I'll be honest with you, lads. Most of my clients are legends, like, you know, real nice people, like, just no problem. Pleasure to cut, like, I'm very lucky, you know.
Yeah.
And you were saying earlier about, like, obviously cutting the Liverpool boys' hair and all, but you've also cut Ryan McMullen's hair. He's becoming such a big, like, singer in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and UK and all. But
Shea's a big fan. I'm a big fan.
We were talking about this earlier. There was one time we went to see Ryan McMullen. You were there as well, but me and Shay had been in the barbers, and Matty was cutting my hair, and what is it? Stephen was cutting your hair.
Yeah, Steve was cutting mine.
And you were saying, we were joking around, and then you were saying that he was coming in that night.
He was actually in after.
Aye, but Shay had asked you, could he come meet him?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you want to finish the story, Shay?
So I think I texted you on Instagram or something, Brandon, and I was like, oh no, I came back in after the cut, and I goes, would it be alright if I came up to you that I got a picture?
I felt like a cunt because I didn't even text you to say he wasn't going to turn up.
Yeah, because that's it then. Because I went home and I was like, I said to the woman, "Oh my God, guess who I'm gonna meet tonight?" No,
yeah.
And she's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Ryan McMullen," and then she was like, "Shut up, you're lying." And I was like, "Right, where do you see?" Right, so I was like, we hopped in the car, whatever it was, about 6 o'clock or something, to get up to your salon for like 7, and then I think we were just pulling into Newry, and I think I got a message from you saying that he cancelled on me, and I was devastated. But it's all right because I got to meet him a couple of weeks later at another concert. So did.
Yeah, I mean, me and Ryan are 2 good friends now. Over the whole thing, you just cutting her. You build a real relationship. You cut her, lads. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one because Ryan had got in touch with me. Really cool because I Ryan's music. I was a fan of Ryan before he reached out to me. So he had heard about my name at Electric Picnic, which is mad, like.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me looking at a haircut, and ever since that it was brilliant. And Ryan's brilliant. Ryan's probably one of them singer songwriters that he should be more recognised than he is, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Although don't get me wrong, lads, he's amazingly recognised throughout Ireland, Northern Ireland, and all the rest. But he's just such a talent boy and a real down to earth guy, you know.
Yeah.
I want to say there, Shay.
You'll get him on next first, will you?
Well, I don't know about that there, but I might get you a couple of VIP tickets to a gig or something, like if he's liking what he's hearing here.
Oh, I'd be happy enough with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you were saying earlier around about opening new shops. Would you ever like think of opening like your own product line of like gels, like hairsprays, that sort of thing? Or has that ever?
I don't want to give too much away, boys, but I've invested a lot of time and effort into actually making my own product at the minute, and it's just been put off. It's been sidetracked because of the whole coronavirus thing, lads. You know, it's put a real dampener on it. It probably should have been out by now, only for this whole pandemic. But I'm sure it'll be in the near future. You know, and it's an amazing product line. It's hopefully going to be a very successful product line, but it's something I'm very proud of, and that is something that's going to be coming out in the future. Yeah.
Exclusive.
Exclusive,
You heard it
yeah.
here first.
I think that this always happens on our podcast. Like we always ask a question and then someone goes, "I've got this in the pipeline. I can't really talk too much about it," and we're just sitting there going, "We've done it
I know.
again."
Pays to be good, doesn't it?
I'm telling you.
No, but
Well,
it's something, obviously, if you're, don't get me wrong, lads, I mean, I probably should have had a product range out a long time ago. I mean, I've been quite, I've been publicised for a long time now, and I could have had a product range out a while ago. It's just that my energy lies in the shop and in doing things that I'm happy doing, and I don't think there was a right time for me to really invest my energy and time into that when I was enjoying so much, back and forth to see the Liverpool lads and working in the shop flat out. I think you really do need to invest a lot of time and energy into making a product. If you're going to make a good product, you might as well make the best one. And instead of some generic product that somebody can just say, "Do you want to put your name on it?"
Yeah.
Because there is products out there that they're the same in all barbershops. The only thing different is the label on them. Whereas I want to make a product that stand alone and it can go on the shelves of shops and can be its own product, its own unique kind of it's just got its own unique kind of elements, So it'll be coming out soon enough.
I feel like
Whose story are you?
if you could go back and, like you said, you went to Liverpool and stuff and like learn what you done, like something that was different from hairdressing and stuff. But like, if you could go back and change something, like, would it be that you didn't do it early enough, or would it be,
Good question, Ross. I don't know, I don't know. I think the way I think it turned out for me has been all right, because I think by not jumping into it, I think I've really, really understood and learned that I really wanted to do it then, because it was something in me for a long time. And I think sometimes if you're spontaneous and you do things, you assume you'd like to do it and then you don't like it. Whereas I knew I definitely wanted to do it. And I think by going and doing teaching, it's allowed me to learn how to be presentable in front of people and how to stand up in front of a crowd. And now, if you like, I'm teaching hairdressing. You know what I mean? I go and do shows in front of hundreds and thousands of people at times. And I mean, I've got that kind of, ability to be on a stage and not to be too overawed by it all. And I think teaching in college, I did teaching, that's what I studied. I think that allowed me to learn that kind of skill set before I actually went and done hairdressing, Yeah. And I think starting hairdressing at 19, I was a wee bit more mature then, I didn't feel too in awe of the client sitting in front of you. I think it was more mature at that stage,
What's it like doing the shows and all? And you've been out to LA and all, haven't you? You've been to America and done teaching, haven't you?
Thomas, I've travelled all over. I've travelled all over, mate. I mean, I've taught in various parts of the USA. I mean, Dubai, Amsterdam, Spain, Portugal, over to China. I've been all over UK. I've been to a lot of places, and it's amazing. It's a good buzz. Like it's a really good buzz. It's mad how the different cultures receive you differently. It's really, really crazy. It just cultures you a bit more. You learn a bit more about the world, and you learn that where we're living isn't really that small a place on the grand scheme of things, because Ireland's a really massively received country. It's not how everybody likes the Irish. Like, like everywhere I go, they're saying, "Oh, you're Irish, oh, brilliant, brilliant." It's mad. It helps, yeah. It does help.
Yeah.
It's great, lads. I mean, standing in front of it's daunting at times, but at the same time, if you're just honest, I think if you're honest and you're just genuine about the whole thing, people can't say anything other than well done, and this and that. It's great. No, it's great. Traveling's brilliant, lads.
Would that be in the future? Would that be something maybe you'd be interested in doing more of? And maybe, like, I know you're very into being in the salon and like one-to-one with customers, but would you step back from that to do more, maybe traveling and teaching?
It's a different thing. Like, it's a totally different ballgame than just being one-to-one with a client. Yeah. I think what I'm better at is one-to-one with my client. I think I'm really, really good at that. I think I'm very good at making people feel appreciated and that the money's well spent. I think I'm very good at that. But I think I'm getting better and better at being an educator and being on a stage. And do you know what, lad? It's brilliant. Like, I mean, getting flown to different places to do different shows and getting paid for it, just see different parts of the world. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling too. I'll definitely do more of it. I'll definitely do more of it. But I'm focused on the new shop. You know, I'll just I take it as it comes. I live every day as it comes, Shear. Like, you know, I don't plan too far into the future. I just sort of live as it comes, like, and take my chances when I get them. You know.
Yeah. That's another thing we would always said about you, Ryan. Back whenever you were open, obviously, you'd always say your story at about 7 o'clock in the morning with your cup of coffee in the filling station, but then like you'd be closing your shutter maybe 10 o'clock at night. Like, where do you get the energy to do that? Like, I can barely get up out of my bed and by one.
I think it's just because I love doing what I'm doing. You know, it's just something I love doing, and it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
It's just I get every client that comes in, it re-energizes me. Every different client, and I just love cutting hair. It's something it's not work for me. I'm totally, it's autopilot for me, you know. I do love doing it, but I am looking forward to lowering the MRs. Like, I mean, I'm not going to work like that there all my life, but I get on with it, boy. I just enjoy it. I just really enjoy it, you know.
Do you think one thing I want to ask you was, like, do you think in Northern Ireland there is that, like you were saying there about like there being stigmas and stuff for like men's like hairdressing stuff back whenever you were training and learning? Do you think in Northern Ireland there is that sort of thing where like going out on your own in business and stuff is like kind of seen as you're almost at a disadvantage, like the way people sort of act in Northern Ireland is there's only so far you're going to go in like business, or if you're like you want to go into like YouTube or like online influencing and whatnot, all that there, like there is that thing in Northern Ireland where a lot of people think like you're only going to go so far, like you'll never go like as far as like, you know, UK people or American people. Like, do you feel like that's something you're aware of, or like?
It's hard to say because I think everybody's different. Depends on the person, but I do understand. I think as a society, I think Northern Ireland we're skeptics. Like, we're massive skeptics. Yeah. I mean, we're awful slaggers. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's just culture. It's the way we are. It's our humor as well. You know. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying we want to see people fall, but we get a good giggle when somebody does fall.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for someone to puff their chests out and say, I'm going to be brilliant at this, you know, in our country, because I think the Irish person tends to go, look at that balloon there, you know, stay of him. Yeah. I just think as a society, it's something we need to learn, you know, how to not be like that. I think it's a negative mindset, but at the same time, social media at the minute is full of these influencers are full of shit, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Positive. You know what I mean? But he's like, you can really be so positive, like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Not, you know, I don't want to sound negative, but I'm a positive person, like, but I mean, I don't get up every day backflipping out of bed, like. Do you know what I mean? Even like, but I mean, I don't know. I think Ross, to answer your question, I think it's up to the individual, boy. I think it's how they perceive themselves. And if you want a hell of a business for yourself, go out and fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? Don't care what people think of you or what they're saying about you, especially in this country, because they're going to be slagging you.
Yeah.
So you're going to have your close friends and family that's going to rally you and get behind you, and your mates, all your mates that know that you're a decent person, they're going to rally you and get behind you. So just focus on that. I think, you know, it's that's what I done. I stopped caring like what people were thinking of me, and it just says, like, sure, when I started my business, it was Facebook for me at the very start. I mean, it was even Bebo. Like, do you remember Bebo?
It's coming back. It's coming back next month.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wonder if you can reactivate your old accounts, by.
Oh no.
Jesus, I don't know if that'd be a good idea.
Oh.
I'd love to see it. Well, what I did was I was fired haircut up after haircut, and I was saying, look, if you want to get this, and I was, boys, the captions were cringy when I look back at it now, but, you know, fresh trim and all this crack. But at the same time too, lads, I was getting slagging from the boys of football now, you know. If I see that, I'm calling like, I'm going to unfollow you, fuck's sake, let's do my... all these spiky haircuts. Which I was saying, you know where the unfollow button is. Work away. You know what I mean? Like, so you're gonna get hate. Hate. Success comes with hate. You know what I mean?
Them boys were secretly thinking, "Fuck, I love my hair like that, Ryan."
Well, sure, they'll go to man.
Ah, you see,
they're asking you to
There you go.
post them now. Like,
And they're here and see when they sit in the chair, they've got a fucking list as long as their arm what they want done.
yeah.
But the thing is, you can't get too you can't invest in all that negativity, or you're going to go nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely nowhere. Just do what you want to do and enjoy it. Like, I mean, I'm not a guru. Like, I'm not one of these like how to tell you how to live your life. All I know is how I want to live mine.
Yeah.
I know that I'm successful in terms of clientele and in terms of my contentment. I'm so content with my business, but that's because I'm doing it the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's down to the individual, like,
I think one thing that you said there that I found quite good was that we were saying like you love to see other people like sort of do well, and you love to like train other people and whatnot, because I feel like that's a thing where you see too many people who they've done really well for themselves and they've built things up on their own and fair play, but they're almost a bit like cautious to like pass that information on. And like like say if a student or like someone young is looking to do something and they're maybe messaging them like they're looking for a bit of advice, I feel like people are very quick to be like say, oh, I'm here for you, like what to do this and what to do that, and anything you need, shoot me a message, and then they just
oh yeah, it's sure it's full of, like, I mean, there's umpteen people that got around. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you want to get further in life, help people along with you. When I'm teaching, people would often say to me, other barbers even would say, Colin, like, why are you telling everybody else how you do it? Like, because like the way you do it's kind of your own way, and why are you telling everybody else how you do it? And I would just say, look, I mean, why not? Why not? Like, I mean, they've got their clients, I've got my clients. I can't do it. Yeah. Like, my staff and me can't cut everybody. Like, then people are going to have, and why not help them cut them really well? And you know what? It comes back on you tenfold anyway. When you help other people, that energy that you give them comes back on you tenfold. It's unbelievable how it works. I mean, and the sooner you realize that, the better for yourself, And another thing too, boys, like, put it like this here: if David Beckham was showing you boys how to put free kicks in the top corner, exactly to the way he does it, are you still going? You might need me to put in the top corner anyway. you're more than likely
That's right.
Balloon it, like, so. You could be teaching people the way you do it, but are they going to do it the same as you? Probably not, because you've probably got a skill set that's sort of adapted for yourself. You almost perfect your own skill set anyway. So, no, listen, Sharon's Karen at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We'll start to wrap it up here, will we? Just another question. You've obviously cut like big footballers and like even celebrities' hair. Is there anyone like you still want to cut? Is there like a certain person you're like, fuck, I'd love to get him in the chair? Like?
Well, I suppose David Beckham would be the man, wouldn't he? Like, I've actually even said this to Hendo and Lallana and all. I'm like, you boys are bound to know David Beckham, like, like. Hendo, you're a skipper of Liverpool, like, and you were the captain of England, like, and Adam, you're a cool dude, like, they're bound to know this man, like, can you just not put a word in for him? I think maybe you'd be a big one. I don't know who else. Like, I mean, David Beckham was the man. Like, when I was young growing up, he was the icon,
Yeah.
And actually, I know one of David Beckham's barbers. I know him now as a friend, and it's pretty cool. The boy that done the 2002 World Cup Mohican, blonde Mohican.
Fuck.
I'm actually now, like, so it's a small world,
Yeah.
No, there'll be more celebrities boys down the line. You just have to take your chances when you get them, and don't be afraid to take them. I know people that were saying to me, "Are you not nervous when you cut them boys?" Like, I couldn't cut them lads, boy. I shit myself. I'd be like, "Oh, fucking just get on it, cut away. Just be confident in your ability, and it's your time to shine, you know.
Yeah.
So it's good, but there will be more. There'll be more. We need to get that Ross man into the salon there. I'm seeing him there. He's
Take him off someday, wasn't it, Ryan?
Lad, I have my hair covered. I'm full grey, full grey.
He needs a wee day job too.
I'm flipping insecure about but I have not cut my hair in about a good number, well over a month. It's a mop, and my hair is really curly as well.
well, that's no problem.
It's disgrace.
Round to it, Jade.
I've travelled.
Hey, Ross.
I'm Ballymena.
Listen, it's worth the journey. I'll knock £5 off your trim. Alright, good man. Here, boys, how you getting on with the whole podcast? Good, yeah.
We're only really
This-
back doing it. This is our second one since before Christmas.
Well, I noticed that this is episode 21.
Aye,
21, yeah.
It's a fucking disgrace that I'm 21.
you're a hard man to get, hey.
I would have accepted 6 or 7.
Took
We-
us
we might
it
even
took us
up on next week,
took us a while to gather up the funds.
Brilliant. Well, that'll do that. Happy enough then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet man. Thanks very much for coming on, Ryan. And,
Pleasure. I wish all this
and
crack
you too.
with the crack.
Here's the crack. You could put our podcast on in this salon.
Could put- I could, yeah.
Yeah, we could if this new product or whatever comes out, get straight onto us. We'll advertise it for you right before the podcast comes on. We'll just be like, "Well, get your head in good shape." I could be your transformation thing, whenever they go in and they take a homeless man and they cut him and make him look real fresh. I could be that poster boy for you. Look at the state of him and then look what we've done.
Absolute plastic surgery job,
He needs more than a haircut, Ryan, doesn't he?
I need a miracle.
No, he's all right. Our Ross is all right.
Aye, no bother.
Right, lads.
Thanks very much for coming on, Ryan, and best luck with the product and all in the future, lad.
I'll see you later then, lads. Take care, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
All right,
you.
man.
Cheers.